Hello, and welcome to the National Youth Leadership Forum on Business Innovation webinar. We're so excited to share more information about our company and this great program with you. But before we get started, we do want to orient you to this webinar. You should see a Q&A panel where you can ask questions throughout this webinar. We will make sure that there is time at the end to answer any questions live for everyone that's here. But throughout this webinar, we do have moderators of our chat that are standing by to answer any questions that you might have. So please feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation, and then we'll make sure at the end to ask any questions and answer them live on air for everyone. But first, a little bit about our company. WorldStride started in 1967 to provide educational travel opportunities to students. They gained firsthand experience and career exploration. Since that time, we have inspired over 800,000 students from 150 countries to make informed decisions about their future, as well as learning about themselves. Under the WorldStrides umbrella, we have the Oxbridge academic programs, the Honors Performance Series, the Rice Elite Technology, and Envision by WorldStrides. Envision by WorldStrides has empowered extraordinary and high-performing students to discover their passion, explore careers, and positively impact the world around them. The National Youth Leadership Forum on Business Innovation is an 8-day program for high school students between the ages of 9th to 12th grade. Held at 2 top universities, this program was designed to provide students with a foundation in business and an opportunity to step into the world of an entrepreneur and be part of the next big startup. You'll join other high school students from around the world for this extraordinary opportunity to hear from subject matter experts, gain invaluable hands-on experience, and be empowered to fully realize your potential. Now we'll talk about accommodations and safety. The Business Innovation Program will be held at Yale University in New Haven, Connecticut, and the University of California, Berkeley, in Berkeley, California. Regardless of the location, Wi-Fi will be provided, and there will be controlled building access. So anyone wanting to enter the buildings will need a key or card to access it. There will be access to the dormitory lounges, vending machines, and other amenities. And just like the students will be staying and residing in university dormitories, they will have their meals in traditional dining halls. The safety and supervision of the students is our #1 priority. To maintain this, we have a 17-to-1 student-to-staff ratio, and inside the classrooms, the ratio is 25-to-1. Our staff will stay overnight with the students and are available to be around them 24/7. We will have an on-site program office that will be accessible from roughly 8 a.m. until midnight, and we'll have a 24-hour phone line in case parents or students have any concerns. At the Business Innovation Program, our large culminating simulation is 8 days to startup simulation. Students will compete in an exciting startup-style simulation that takes them from ideation to product launch. They'll gain experience in idea generation, design, critical thinking, crowdsourcing, pricing strategy, funding, marketing, and branding. Students will also tour local incubators for business development. They'll attend business workshops and engage with real world business leaders through various speaking events. On your screen, you'll see a photo of several students that are pitching their new startup idea in their 8 days to startup simulation. And speaking of speakers, there'll be professionals in the field of business that will come to talk to the students and supply insights from their own learnings, as well as guide students through the key elements of launching a business. Students will get the chance to network with those speakers, learn how to define their target market, and discover how to secure funding for a startup. Our program is in the process of securing speakers for summer 2024. But we'd like to talk a little bit about some speakers of our past. We have professionals that are in the height of the business or entrepreneurship fields, including the best-selling author, brand creator, and former Meta or Facebook director, Peipei Zhao, and Forbes 30 Under 30 and consumer tech alumna, and the founder of Savvy Millennial, Savannah Peterson. In addition to speakers, students will go off-site to visit different innovation centers and incubators to learn more about what it takes to have a startup. One such visit is to the SCI Center for Innovative Thinking while at Yale University. While there, the students will be inspired to develop solutions to real-life problems and gain hands-on exposure to a variety of entrepreneurship topics from true experts in strategic planning. This is just a sample of one of the site visits that will occur. There will be incubators and disruptive startups that will be visited at both the Yale and University of Berkeley campuses. In addition to these business site visits, students will also get a tour of the campus that they are staying. And with all of this learning, we want to balance that out with some fun. It's important for students at this age to have that free time to play and get exercise outdoors so they remain more focused while they're learning. They'll use the leadership skills learned in the classroom and apply it to the team building activities outside. And students that are attending the Business Innovation Program are eligible to receive college credit through George Mason University. College credit is issued directly by George Mason University on a pass-fail basis at the cost of $110 per credit. For summer 2024, the Business Innovation Program will be held at Yale University and the University of California, Berkeley. On this slide and on your screen are the dates of each location. Our program will run from June 25th through July 2nd, July 6th through the 13th, and July 15th through the 22nd at Yale University, and from June 16th through June 23rd, and June 25th through July 2nd at the University of California, Berkeley. In addition to scholarships, we provide students with fundraising strategies. One of our most successful fundraising tools is the World Strides gift of education. Students can send e-cards or snail mail to their friends and family, or share their campaign through social media. Students have raised over $2 million through the gift of education, and 100% of the money raised goes directly towards the price of their trip. We'd like to thank you for attending this webinar and for learning more about the Business Innovation Program. If there are any questions that you have, you can feel free to reach out directly to our Office of Admissions at 1-866-858-5323. We'll now turn our attention to any questions that have been asked throughout this webinar. I'd like to thank those that have been asking questions throughout, as well as thank our chat moderators that have been answering the questions as they have been coming in. I see there's some questions here about the type of career path that the students may want to learn about from business. As we know, business has many different career paths and fields. And when they come to the Business Innovation Program, they'll get a firm foundation of what business really means. So they'll learn about finance as well as marketing strategies and come up with some of their own innovative business ideas and startups through entrepreneurship. I see there's a question here about the different types of activities and that they'll vary depending on what location a student attends. So there might be different activities that occur. So for example, there could be a specific incubator that students attend at Yale University. And when they are at the University of California, Berkeley, they could go to a different type of startup, but the curriculum will be the same at both locations. And they'll have speakers that are of very comparable caliber that will be speaking to the students. So they'll still get the same foundation of business as well as be able to pitch their idea in their startup style simulation. There's a question here about dress code and if there's a dress code that students have to follow while at the program. So we do have a dress code that is very flexible for the students, especially knowing the time of the year that the students will be attending the program. Once enrolled in the program, the families will have their own web page that will list all of the different forms as well as different articles and types of information that they'll need about the program. One of those is our dress code. So we do make sure that the students are able to be in more of a casual dress, especially as they are going to be walking around in the summer heat. But there may be times where the students need to adopt more of a professional tone, especially when we think about them acting as those entrepreneurs as they pitch their startup ideas to a panel of different business experts that will be listening to it. So there are differing dress codes depending on the day, but it is very flexible, and those dress codes will be clearly outlined and sent to you after you have enrolled in the program. I see here there are a few questions about the cost of the program and financial aid that may be available. I actually want to turn us back to our prior slide where we talk about the gift of education. So we do have a number of students that are attending our programs that have raised their own money to come. We offer grants and scholarships that are available at our webpage if you go to envisionexperience.com. But then we also have a fundraising page. Not only is it the gift of education where our students are asking for donations from their family and friends, but we also have lots of different strategies and tools that people have successfully used to raise the money to come to our programs. If there is a barrier to the tuition price that might be stopping you from enrolling in our programs, we ask that you do reach out to our Office of Admissions. We will work directly with each student and family as each family's situation is different, but we don't want that to be a barrier to stop you from enrolling. So if you are interested in coming to the program but not quite sure about the cost, please reach out to our Office of Admissions and they'll be able to work with you as well as give you some different strategies and fundraising tools. Great. I see a lot more questions rolling in, so thank you all for asking all of these questions. There's some questions here about what you need to bring to the program, or if the students need to come with any type of money with them. So there will be a packing list that will be sent to the students upon their enrollment into the program, so you can already start preparing for that. That includes their dress code as well as any other materials, notebooks, or things that they might want to bring with them. Um, but in terms of money, there will be 2 meals every day that will be provided, at least 2 meals every day provided by our program. But there will be times where they'll be visiting other sites, such as going out in the San Francisco or Connecticut area, where we want the students to be able to hang out with their friends and try a little bit of the local cuisine. So for those times, they will be purchasing the meal on their own, and also in our packing list, we do have a recommended amount of money for them to bring for each day, as well as any souvenirs that they might want to purchase while they're out and about or visiting the university bookstores. It's a quick question here about how students are selected for this opportunity. So it's a couple of different ways. One of our largest ways that we reach out to our students is through teachers. So majority of the students that were invited to come to this program were nominated by one of their teachers or someone that saw enough potential that they could gain from coming to our programs. So we reach out directly to the teachers. They will send us student names of people who they thought would be a really good fit to come to this program and would benefit. And then we send the nomination letters out that way. So if you got a nomination letter in the mail, it's likely because you had a teacher or someone else that has nominated you for this type of opportunity. That's another good question here about if you come to our program, but then decide that maybe business is not for you, if it's still beneficial to come. It is still beneficial to come to our programs. In fact, we do get different students that come to our programs and then realize at the end that this might not be exactly the career that they want to go to. And that's totally fine. At least they have known that now before they go into college and maybe went into a major that wasn't for them. What they can do though is you will learn about lots of different things other than business when you attend. You'll learn about teamwork, critical thinking skills, lots about leadership. And the things that you will learn at this program are foundations that can be used in any career, as well as being able to gain that college life experience by living on campus at a top university. And if you have applied to get a college credit that you can utilize and be a step ahead of those already applying to college. So even if you think business is for you, but you're not quite sure, there's still a great benefit by coming to our programs. Thank you so much for all these questions. They just keep rolling in, and I see our chat moderators are getting to them as soon as possible. Let's see if there are any other questions to answer here live. There's a question here about which university that you will be going to. So that is completely up to you. If there is a university, so if you would like to go to Yale University or the University of California, Berkeley, when you enroll into the Business Innovation Program, you will select the location that you would like to attend. So it is completely up to you if you would like to go to California or if you would like to go to Connecticut. You will choose that at the time of your enrollment. Here's another question about transportation to the program or during the program. So The transportation to the program will be the responsibility of the family. So whether you would like to drive to the program and drop off your scholar, or if they'll be flying to the program, as many of our students at this age do. We do have an option for students that fly to the program to purchase our shuttle. They can purchase that shuttle. So when they get to the airport at whatever location they'll be going to, we have staff that will be there to greet them. We have our own private shuttle buses where students will be riding with a staff member to our campus. And then they will be in our care the entire time from when they land at the airport until we drop them back off at the airport on departure day. So we highly recommend that if you are flying to the program, you purchase our program shuttle so you will be safe and in our care the entire time. Great. There's a question here about wanting to see the dates of the program again. So let me go back a couple of slides so you all can be able to take a look at the dates for the program here for each location. So a couple more questions about the transportation. So flights are not included in the tuition price. So the tuition does cover transportation while the program is running, as well as their housing, their meals, and the curriculum and speakers and site visits. But the family and the scholar are responsible for their transportation to and from the program site, including airfare on their own. I see we're still getting some questions here about the tuition price and ways to be able to pay to come to the program. So as we said, we do not want the tuition price to necessarily be a barrier to coming to the program. Not only will we have scholarships, grants, and other fundraising techniques available, but there's also a payment plan. So if you do not want to pay for the total tuition at one time and you'd rather pay for it a little at a time, you are able to opt into our payment plan. So then you're only paying for a certain amount of the tuition from now until when the program happens. So again, we really want you to reach out to our Office of Admissions. They can help you with that payment plan as well as any other fundraising strategies you may need. Thank you again for all of these questions. They keep coming in, and I know our chat moderators are doing a great job of answering them as they're coming in. So here's another question about the college credits and if having college credit or coming to our program holds any weight on the college application process. The college credit that is optional to purchase is something that you can definitely put on your college applications. In fact, we do know of certain students that have come to our programs, purchase those additional or optional college credits, and those were the one or two credits that they needed to be able to graduate, or they already came in a step ahead to college because they already had credits to their name. Additionally, it is great to put on a college application of any conferences or programs the students have attended so you can tell them that they have attended the business innovation program and what location that they attended and all the things that they learned from that program. In addition to attending the program, all of the students will receive a certificate of participation at the end, and that certificate can be something that they also list on their college applications. Great. I see some more questions coming through. Is a question about the age group that is able to come to this program. So, this is a high school program for students within the ninth to 12th grades. We do have students that are freshmen that do come to this program. And then we have students that have just graduated in May, and then they come to our June programs as well. So it is a variety of different high school ages that come. We do make sure that students are paired with roommates that are of the same age. So they're staying with someone of a similar age group. And then we also make sure that our groups that they'll be learning in are also diversified in terms of the ages and the grades that will be represented. Here's a good question about transportation and if students are able to drive themselves to the program. So, yes, students can drive themselves to the program if they are local to the Berkeley or New Haven area. When they do come to the program, we will ask that they give us their keys that we will hang on to, and that's just for safety reasons because we want to make sure that they're staying here with us and not leaving the program at any time. So we'll keep their keys safe in our program office and locked up, and they will get those back on departure day. The parking is something that the students will be responsible for on their own, so we will not be able to cover any parking passes or spaces that may need be needed the for leaving their car. So it really does depend on the campus. I know for Yale University, there are not many places to park your car overnight. So we would recommend for those types of locations just to look into it in advance. And we highly recommend either having someone drop you off at the program or flying into the program site. Okay, I see some questions on what is the deadline to enroll for the program. So enrollment is currently open, and I will actually turn us back to the page with our Office of Admissions phone number in case anyone needs that. But our enrollment is currently open. So our spots are filling on a first come, first serve basis. So our spots are filling up fast. If there is a particular location or a particular session or dates that you would like to attend, we ask that you enroll or reserve your space as soon as possible because as enrollment has been open, there may be limited spots for dates at a location that work best for you. So enroll as soon as possible. If you have questions, just call our Office of Admissions and they'll be able to help you with that too. All right, there's some questions here. I see a few coming in about parents being able to attend the program and if they're able to chaperone or attend any part of that program with their students. And unfortunately, for this program, we are not able to have parents to chaperone or attend a part of the program. One of the major parts of our high school programs in particular is really allowing students to gain that sense of independence while they're with us. So, big part of that is allowing them to be on the college campus with their peers and with our staff. There is a time usually at the end of the program where parents can come a little early when they pick them up to be able to see the end of the program commencement, but other than that, that is the only time that the parents are allowed there. Another big thank you to the chat moderators. As I see questions coming through, people are answering it right away. It's a good question here about the slides in this presentation and if you'll be able to go back through and see any of the presentation or go back to hear any of the questions that have been asked. And we will be sending out the recording of this webinar. Usually you'll see it, it should be emailed to you roughly a week between now and when this webinar is being recorded. So about a week from now, you will get a notification to be able to see that. It will be available on our YouTube page. There's a question here about if a student can attend our program consecutive years. And yes, they can. We've actually had several people do this before that have come to our program year after year. You will get a different experience. You will be with a different group and come up with a different business idea that you'll be pitching. There will likely be different speakers that you'll hear from and different site visits. So it is a different experience. And sometimes what we also see is students will have a business idea and they'll work on it in their own time during the school year, and then they'll come back to the program and want to continue with that and really make that a reality. We've actually had quite a few students that have had their business ideas turned into actual businesses that are still going today. So you are more than welcome to come back to another program. So enrollment is still open. Today is not the last day to enroll, but we do ask if you are interested in enrolling in the program or getting more information, if you can do that as soon as possible. You can find that on our website, envisionexperience.com, or you can reach out to our Office of Admissions to be able to start that process. But we do ask if you're interested to start enrollment because we are on a first come, first served basis, and we want to make sure that you get into the session and location that you'd like. Okay, question here about how to contact us for more information, just besides our telephone number. So if you go on our website, envisionexperience.com, we also have a live chat function. And just like we have people here who are monitoring the chat and are very familiar with our enrollment process and this program, we will have people available on our chat function there that can also assist you. So there are multiple ways that you can reach out to us. All right. Let me see if there are any other questions that we can be answering. Again, thank you for all the questions that are currently being asked. We don't want you to walk away with a question still while we have a captive audience of people here from our headquarters that can answer those questions for you. This question about if cameras can be brought to the program. Yes, you can bring cameras as well as your cell phone to the program. We will ask in times where the curriculum is being taught or we have a speaker that the phones and cameras are put away for respect for what's happening with the program. But we will be posting photos on a free website every day that families can be able to look at and be able to see what's happening at the program. And we also encourage students to upload their photos of their experience too. Okay, still some questions about scholarships. So if there are questions specifically about scholarships and how to afford our programs, if you go into our envisionexperience.com webpage, and when you go to the webpage, you'll see a part at the top that says admissions. And right underneath admissions is scholarships and grants. So if you go to our webpage, envisionexperience.com, and then you look for the section that says admissions and then scholarships and grants. Those that are asking about scholarships, the deadline to apply for a scholarship is the end of this month. So if that's something that you are interested in attending this program and would like to apply for a scholarship, that deadline is the end of this month. So go to envisionexperience.com, look for admissions and then scholarships and grants. It's a question here about our staff and who will be in charge of the students at while they're at the program. So we have our staff members who we are currently hiring for right now. In fact, many of the staff members, the majority of them are actual teachers that work during the regular school year and then they come to work our programs in the summer times. So sometimes we see the same teacher who nominated the student will actually come and work that program. These staff members are background checked and fingerprinted and undergo numerous hours of both virtual as well as in-person training to make sure that they are capable of being around students and know about all the safety protocols. And we also make sure that we are hiring staff members that have experience in the subject matter. So for the business innovation program, the staff will either be have a degree in business or currently own their own business or be an entrepreneur so they can bring their real life experience to the students. I see there's some questions about, again, the deadline to enroll. So if you are interested in enrolling in the program, I know some people said that they're getting emails saying today is the deadline. You can go ahead and just reach out directly to our Office of Admissions. We'll be able to work with you on that. So if you are interested in enrolling, please reach out to our Office of Admissions as soon as possible, or just go ahead and enroll to the program. It's a question here about transportation and if students can travel alone on an airplane to come to the program. So yes, that you will have to check with the individual airline because some airline policies do vary depending on the age of the student, if they are able to fly on their own or if they are going to be declared an unaccompanied minor. Regardless, we will be able to accommodate that student. Just if they are under the designation of an unaccompanied minor, if they can call into our Office of Admissions and we can work with you on what that exactly looks like. But we do have quite a few students, at least half of the students that do fly into each of our program sites. I see a couple of people are asking about our email address for the Office of Admissions. So there are three ways that you can reach our Office of Admissions. One is through the telephone number on the screen, 1-866-858-5323. Another is going on our website, envisionexperience.com, and chatting with one of our agents. And you can also email us. I will say, in terms of The way to contact us, email is the one that we would like to discourage the most because we are much more able to work with you if it's something that's a live chat or by phone, because since every situation is different versus going back and forth via email. But we do have an email address. It is envisioninfo@envisionexperience.com. But that is the way that we like to discourage the least. If you could call us or chat with us on the website, that would be much better and faster to getting a resolution and to helping you enroll in the program. Couple questions here about the living situation, how many people will be in a dormitory and what that looks like. So we are still getting the specifics on what the on the dorm location and names at each of the universities. However, most of the dormitories are going to be either double rooms, so two roommates in a room, or it could be suite style, meaning that there will be 2 to 4 people in one dormitory room with a shared bathroom inside of their dormitory. So it really depends on the location, and we're still waiting to get specifics on exactly what dormitory you will be in for each location, but you will get that information in after you have enrolled in the program. And our dorms are separated by gender, and the same with our floors. So we will make sure that there are only people of the same gender in their sleeping rooms and also on their same floor. Just do another plug here. Thank you again for asking these questions. I see that the questions are coming a little slower now. So we do want to make sure we answer as many questions as we possibly can while we get everyone here. And if you have a question, we want to be able to answer it live because someone else also has that question, so you all get the same information. This question here about student athletes and getting more information if someone attending the program is also a student athlete and has any type of different requirements. For those, we would like you to reach out directly to our Office of Admissions and we can work with you and just hear a little bit more about what is typically required based on your needs and how we can be able to work with you for the program. Okay, here's a good question about if the student has any type of medical needs or gets sick while they're at the program. So, for this program, we do have staff members that will be trained on how to assist a student if they don't feel well. They can be able to go to either pick up they can bring medicine with them if they normally get, let's say, a headache and they already have something with them, so they can take that and be able to rest in their room. We will also be able to take them to a pharmacy if they need to pick something up, or take them to urgent care if they need to see a medical professional. But regardless of what that situation is, we will give the family a phone call before they take any type of medicine or we take them anywhere to get care just to make sure that the family is looped in on that. All right, I see a question just came in about curfews for the students. So we do have a pretty strict schedule that we stick with. We are packing a lot of information and activities in the 8 days while they're with us. So there will be a curfew each night. So after the full day of learning and they've had some evening fun and activities, they will have a little bit of free time where our staff will be with them, but they will then be in their rooms for the evening. And they will get room checked. After that, they will have to be in their rooms for the rest of the evening. So they will have a curfew that they will have to stick with each night. And we will have staff that will be walking the hallways and monitoring them overnight while they're sleeping in case the students need anything. I do see that the questions are starting to become a little more scarce. So we'll open it up for one more minute if there's any questions that you would like us to answer for you while we're here. Again, we don't want you to walk away with any questions. We want you to feel comfortable sending your student to our program or coming to the program. Okay. So a couple more questions that just came through. A question here about our staff and if the staff who are normally teachers, if they teach at colleges or high schools throughout the school year. And that really does vary. We have teachers, our staff members that are teachers of high school, of university, professors. We have those that have been in business for a while and now teach at universities. So it does vary of the experience that the staff will have, which we think really adds to the experience that you have those that are very seasoned and have been teaching business for years, and then you have those that may have just started teaching for college, but they have years of experience of business. So we do make sure that we have a variety of experience that we can bring to the students. All right. Well, it looks like most of our questions are being answered right now by our chat moderators. But since the questions are coming in a little slower than we've seen before, I'm going to go ahead and bring our webinar to a close. Thank you so much for attending the webinar. Thank you for the great questions that you have been asking. We hope that you have enjoyed learning more about the Business Innovation Program. And if there are any questions that you had that we were not able to get to or that you just had after this webinar, please reach out to our Office of Admissions at 1-866-858-5323. There will be a few of us that will stay online for 2 more minutes afterward in case there are any other questions that you might have. But thank you again for attending today's webinar. Please reach out to the Office of Admissions if you have any questions, and we look forward to hosting your student at the Business Innovation Program this summer.